me another sport where you have to work on your takeaway. Okay, because I can't think of one. Like, genuinely, stick it in the comments if you can think of one. Genuinely asking, because I can't remember the last time I've seen baseball players working on their takeaway. I can't remember the last time I've seen a cricketer saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just working on my takeaway." Can't remember the last time I heard Roger Federer saying, "Yeah, I'm just working on my takeaway from my forehand," or a javelin thrower saying, "Just working on this part, the takeaway." But the only time I've ever heard takeaway out of the context of golf jargon is your local Chinese, Indian or Thai. And unless you're working on that, I call bullshit on it in golf. I just don't see how this bit has anything to do with that bit, or the whole form, should I say. Like, I think cause and effect has to come into this as well, because there's an argument that people will say, "Oh yeah, well I worked on my takeaway and I dropped 3 shots off my handicap." Yeah, sick. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Like, if the chances are, if you're the kind of person who's going to be going to the range and frivolously working on this, you're probably going to be a range goer, probably going to be someone who's working on the game. Well, you're definitely going to be someone who's working on the game if you're working on your takeaway, and you're probably someone who's out there playing a bit and practicing a bit. So how do you know that this was the cause of you dropping your handicap by half a shot or whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? And if it's some kind of theory, it has to be falsifiable, which it is, in my opinion, and it has to come up under scrutiny. So if there is an optimal takeaway, like the club covering the hands at this point, which, by the way, who fucking decided that? Who decided, yeah, that's where you want to be? I can't even see that because the camera's there and I don't know. And that's another thing, if your camera's here or over there, how do you know if the club's covering it? Anyway, why is it then, as mentioned, if there's an optimal takeaway, fragment of the swing, then why is it we've got Mo Norman over there, Matt Wolf out there, Bobby Jones in there,
You see the club gets around him early.
JB Holmes around there, Bubba Watson out there.
It's going to go right through the bill of his cap.
Fred Couples is a bit out there. So, you know, if there's an optimal, why are those guys swinging here, there and everywhere? Because if there was an optimal, they'd be doing it. And the argument against it would be like, "Oh well, they're just outliers, you know, they're just great players and they can have a takeaway in there." Well, that's an easy cop out for someone's belief system, isn't it? Because you could just say, "Oh well, yeah, they're outliers, I'm crap, they're good, they can do whatever." That's in my opinion a great way to market to punters like you and me, by saying we're not outliers, we can't do the things that they can do, so we've got to go in our living room every night and work on our takeaway 200 times like that. And I know I take the piss, but the only reason I'm saying it is because that's what I used to do. That's what I've seen other people doing. You only got to go to the driving range and see all this stuff, all this carry on, and think, I don't buy it. I challenge anyone to go spend a day or two with Marcus and watch his lessons and see if they think the takeaway means dick. Nah, man, they're just not having it. If it was so important, as mentioned, those players before mentioned, John Daly as well, around there, they'd be doing it. And unless someone actually puts down the data and says, "Here you are, Robin, here's why the takeaway improves your golf," rather than just some subjective hacker saying, "Oh well, you've got to work on the takeaway," if you can't rationalise it, like genuinely, I'm trying to appeal to the people who are a little bit more open-minded, think outside the box, and are willing to sort of raise their hand, like me, raise their hand and say, "You know what, maybe actually all of the stuff that I've been preaching in the past is probably wrong." You know, you could maybe like to empty your cup out, see things from more of a bird's eye point of view and think, well, let's take a look at this. Because if you're not a golfer, or if you come out of the matrix that is golf, and you look at all this stuff, it actually looks like insanity. Like all of this carry on. Oh yeah, just working on my takeaway. All of this fragmenting of things, breaking it up to reference Marcus's lessons. Yeah? I'll throw a ball to that tree And I'm going to work on this takeaway here, my top of the backswing position here, we'll transition down there, through here, I'll go down there. If you fragment it all, you know, you get something like resembling a Frankenstein action with zero fluidity or good looking movement. You know, that's something that you can't, like, again, it's easy to go down the whole confirmation bias route by just picking out players that might be working on the takeaway. Like you will get, I mean, of course you get, there's loads of them, players on tour and whatnot working on the takeaway and that. But as mentioned previously, cause and effect. Do you really think that those guys, if they weren't working on the takeaway, wouldn't be where they are with the golf now? Because I think they're that good that they would be, regardless of whatever it is they're working on. Yeah, but for hackers like me and you, we're there watching these elite performers thinking, oh yeah, we'll do as they're doing. And from the outside, yeah, maybe it does look like they're doing this and all that carry on. But from the inside, really as to how they're performing, I think you've got to come to the point now, you've got to be open-minded enough to think, well, actually, maybe that's not what's propelling them to that level. Maybe that's not why they're so good and why I'm so shit, you know? And once you realise that actually the takeaway doesn't mean dig, it's liberating, because you just start off, you know, a bit cliche, but you own your swing. You do, man. Once you stop caring about all that stuff, you're fucking sweet. Like, you for someone to come in to that studio in Doncaster, get a lesson off markers who've been working on that one thing for so long, whether it's their takeaway or whether it's the grip that, you know, Golf Digest top 100 bloody drill said was the right thing to do. And they've been working on it for so long, and they haven't been able to do it by their own ideals or aesthetics or perception. To then walk in and realise that this doesn't matter. And in fact, I'm hitting the ball way better than I ever did before in my life when I used to work on all this shit. Yeah? The idea of this golf channel from the beginning was to sort of get you guys questioning your own beliefs. You know, like I still continue to do now. I was that guy who went and worked on his takeaway and his top backswing and all that crap. I was that guy. Golf nerd, like 101, proper stiff, like, you know, borderline obsessed, well, absolutely obsessed with it. And it's the same story with all these other people. Generally speaking, you see coming for lessons marks and shit. And once you get out of that bubble and you look in, once you look into the golfing community from a stand back position, look at it as abstract. You're there and you think, what the fuck is this? Do you know what I'm saying? So, I know I've rambled on, but all in all, you're working on your takeaway unless it's your local and unless it's feeding you on a Friday night. I wouldn't bother your arse, man. Unless you can rationalise it by saying why you're doing what you're doing, as in, yeah, I'm working on this takeaway because of X, Y, Z, then yeah, alright, sweet, go for it. But if that X, Y, Z is someone else's rationale or belief system, or you're doing it because a magazine or a YouTube video told you to do it, then you're not actually come to that conclusion on your own accord, have you? You just done it because someone else said do it, or because, you know, not to give them a bad name, but, you know, a pro might have told you to do it, and like they might well be reading out of another textbook. Do you see what I'm saying? You can put all your trust in experts, but you think that they're not subject to some kind of indoctrination or confirmation bias either. I beg to differ, man. I beg to differ. So fuck off working on your takeaway. Why not try and work on the entire form? You know, start to finish. Yeah, we don't do fragmented movements in other sports. Here. Work on the entire format. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the results. Enjoy.
Definitely not a textbook position at the top of the swing, but it goes with the wide nature of
Just don't focus on anything but the club head. Watch how back and up it goes.